Let me give a star up to Dak Prescott. First half, 16 of 20, 180, 2 touchdowns, interception, 36 rushing yards. That first drive was beautiful. They wanted to get Michael Gallup involved early. First play, Gallup. Because he was getting called out by a lot of people around here last week. Jerry Jones telling KMC, yes, we want to see more from him. 3rd and 6 on that first drive. Gallup converted. Pollard had a run. Pollard had a catch. Now, Dak overthrew Gallup in the end zone, but then on 3rd and 2, you got that touchdown from Brad Shan with that call that we just played coming back. 11 plays, 75 yards, 4:42 off the clock. Dak with the legs. And then second drive, Dak found Lamb for the 21-yard touchdown. That was a sweet throw.
Yes.
He had a nice rhythm that entire drive. He had a nice zip throw to Gallup. He was 10 of 11 at that point for 107, a passing touchdown, a running touchdown, 14-0 Cowboys. RJ, they put up 149 yards in the first quarter. Their last 3 games total in the first quarter, 104. So 149 yesterday in the first, last 3 games in the first, total 104, and Dak had those numbers. He had a QB sneak.
Yeah, he did.
The longest ever possible quarterback sneak in NFL history. Moose is up there saying, I've never seen that before. Dak's longest run since 2019 as it went for 25. Star up to the Cowboys QB.
Man, I wasn't sure going into this game if Dak had his legs underneath him anymore. He was out there running like a fullback a lot of times.
He still looks weird running.
Well, he looks slow. There's no doubt about that. But this is we want him to run. We don't want him to run maybe as much as he used to.
Yeah.
Because he may not be as fast as he was. May not be. He isn't as fast as he was. But man, he can still be effective when you don't expect it, and he gets that first jump on you. I mean, he can still beat a lot of guys down the field, or at least get to the spot that he needs to. That to me was huge. His ability to run the ball yesterday, it was good to see. It was like harkening back to a bygone era of Dak Prescott.
I know it's easy to say this, obvious, when the offense scores 42, but I agree with Broadus when I heard him driving in the postgame. It feels like Kellen Moore did everything in this game, right? You had Turpin running around. Pollard obviously got his touches. Michael Gallup involved. CeeDee Lamb involved. All the tight ends involved. Dak using his legs. I feel like a star up to Kellen Moore, as he often gets criticized around here. And a star up to the offensive line, man. It felt like Dak had nice protection. Except for at the end, he was in a little bit too late. Almost got his head ripped off.
Yeah. That
was the only sack. That was it. Sacked once for 8 yards. So star up to the offensive line as well.
Yeah, and it looked like the wide receivers suddenly had they were open. I mean, they guys that were wide open at times, and that's key, and a lot of that's because Dak was on his game, and that was big. That's why I got to star up for the top 3 on the wide receiver, in the wide receiver category. All 3 averaged more than 12.3 yards per catch, including CeeDee Lamb, who had 15.5. Man, 15 of Dak's 21 completions went to those 3. Went to Lamb, Schultz, and Gallup. Those guys are on their game. I got to give it to Dalton Schultz. We've kind of killed him this year and put him in the ground in favor of Ferguson and Hendershot. But Schultz had himself a nice little afternoon, and that was key because that's been Dak's favorite guy. Sometimes to a fault. All right, sometimes Dak will take the easy check down to Schultz. But it didn't seem to me that Schultz was the check down guy yesterday. He was able to go over the middle, downfield, a little bit, 10, 15 yards downfield. I was surprised Dak only took 6 pass attempts past 15 yards the entire game. It seemed like way more than that watching it, but
yeah,
it was those 3 I think had themselves a really nice afternoon.
Schultz was 6 for 74, but my star up is going to the other tight end and that awesome celebration.
Play fake. He's not throwing it to Davis. He's going to throw it to Ferguson on the right side of the end zone. Touchdown.
That was the Ferguson, and I needed the Texas recap for this, the Texas title for what that was. Hog tie, got a calf rope. He tied up his teammate over there. That was awesome. They set that up. They had that one planned for a while.
You can find out if they got the isn't the rodeo.
Hit up Taylor Hearn from the Rangers.
Rodeo coming into
That's right.
Soon. Yeah. You get Bulls night out. Want to go see that, man?
Is that what they call it?
One of
Get the fellas together?
I think it's
Sounds
like the
right.
Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, right? Bulls night out or something like that.
Ferguson with the 1-yard touchdown. He's got the calf rope. He's got the hog tie with his teammates. That was the 4th straight possession with a TD. First time since 2014 that the Cowboys have done that. That made it 28-7. McCarthy pointed out 3rd downs.
Yeah.
They finished 9 of 11
Is that good?
on 3rd down.
That's good.
82%. Highest rate in a single game in at least the past 30 years. He had told like the Fox team. By the way, I like that play-by-play guy, whoever that was.
Adam Amin.
3rd down was their blinking light. And they started off 9 of 10, 4.6 per conversion. First 7 games of the year, 32% on 3.9 to go. CeeDee had a 3rd and 8. He had a touchdown on 3rd. 2 of the conversions were Tony Pollard runs. The other 7 were Dak. He was 5 for 6, 85 yards and a touchdown on 3rd down. That is so freaking good. Picked up another 2 with his feet, including the rushing score. So 3rd down was a major emphasis, and they knocked it home and crushed it yesterday in that win over the Bears. All right, what else we got? Star up, star down. Truckwreck.com text line, 877-881-1053. I got J-Ron Curse as a star up. Brian Anger hit an 83-yard punt.
I think it went forever.
Yeah.
Do we do a star up or a star down for the Micah usage? It was very odd. Like he was I hope that there was a lot of injuries going on with him because he was only in for like 65% of the plays.
Yeah, they were like putting him on the running back rotation.
Yeah.
And I tweeted, I was like, if Micah's not over there gassed and huffing and puffing, why is he on the sideline? He's clearly hurt. And he's clearly banged up. So this seems to be the perfect time. And Broadus was talking about this last week when he was in for you about why maybe Micah shouldn't be rushing as much here because the wear and the tear and the pounding can start to catch up to you. And I think we're seeing it.
Oh, it might be. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And, look, I just want him going towards the quarterback. If it's not just from the edge, if he's sometimes coming. But then again, if he's coming from the A gap, I mean, isn't there more traffic there? Is that going to be more wear and tear on him? And then, the other side is speed needs space.
You might have to keep him at linebacker for a little bit.
Speed needs space. I mean, look, I'd rather not.
I'm just saying for the wear and tear.
Yeah, if that's the only way to keep him on the field, then we have that discussion. I mean, I would hate to see it, but if that's the only way to keep him on the field, then go for it. By the way, start out in the NFL. Why do you guys think that we gave a crap about seeing the Giants game yesterday? Why do they have this idea that because we happen to play in the same division as the Giants, that we would rather see Giants-Seahawks than Niners-Rams? Why do they think that?
New York.
What old fart in the league office thinks that we care about a division foe versus watching the better football game, which is Rams-Niners? Now,
because
it didn't turn out to be a great game, but whatever.
Because they would argue, and this is a dream for the executives, the TV executives in the NFL, that the Giants are 6-1. We put the best team on TV, even though we aren't buying the Giants whatsoever. Yesterday, an example of them being overhyped and overrated, losing to Seattle, but they're like, we got the number 1 team. We got the second best team in the NFC and the NFL record-wise. Number 1 market, gold mine for them.
And it's 2 playoff teams. Seattle's in first place in their division.
I know.
Somehow.
Did you see the playoff? Did you see the playoff teams in the NFC?
Bad.
You kidding me? Cowboys gonna open up with Atlanta?